Uddika's real-life acting revealed. Unceasing barrage against top cop Deshabandu. Here's the day Basil comes back. Prasanna's decision. Ravi K's straight talk. What Sagala did on birthday.
The leader, දේශයට මග කියන ප්‍රවෘත්ති පෙළගැස්ම.
Uddika's real-life acting revealed. Being Sri Lankans, we are never short of hot gossip. One comes after the other in an endless torrent. It seems what we call news is nothing more than raw gossip. As comments against Deshabandu were going viral on social media, we saw the news Uddika has resigned from his parliamentary seat. Yesterday, the Leader TV described the incident in detail. The following is something extra. The actor-turned-politician was already out of the country when a bodyguard of his handed over his resignation letter to the Speaker. He is now in Canada seeking political asylum. A member of Weerawansa's National Freedom Front, Uddika contested the last general election on the SLPP ticket and polled 133,550 votes. Along with the 5 other NFF MPs, he started tasting trouble since the day they broke away from the Rajapaksas. They formed the Supreme Lanka coalition, and with the Aragalaya, both sides went down in politics. Uddika then declared himself to be independent. After a month or two, his vehicle was reportedly fired at. Police are yet to find a suspect. It is now said he had got it done via a fellow MP. Recently, he spoke to his leader and said he wanted to resign. Strongly advising against it, Weerawansa told him to write to the Speaker and obtain leave from Parliament every 3 months. With a general election coming soon, don't think of resigning. If you resign, the seat goes to the SLPP, he noted. Uddika has sent his resignation letter on the advice of a team of foreign lawyers. That is how he acted in real life, with a claim of a threat to his life. It is apparent that a set of incompetents disguised in various forms is thinking of coming to Parliament this time too. Voters can learn a lesson from Uddika's incident. At least this time round, they should think twice and decide wisely if promises they make are practical. Also, be careful when experimenting with everybody's future. Unceasing barrage against top cop Deshabandu. Arguments galore over Deshabandu's appointment as the Inspector General of Police. Opposition leader Sajith issues statements and gives voice cuts endlessly. In the meantime, the latest professorial addition to the SJB held a media briefing at Sajith's office yesterday. Flanked by Madhuma Bandara, he said the Speaker's exercising the vote was a blatant violation of the Constitution. Anyway, political analyst Ajith Perakam says in his Praja website that the Constitutional Council's approval was a decisive political act. Premier Dinesh Gunewardena, Sagara Karyawasam, Nimal Siripala and Dr. Anula Wijasundara voted for Deshabandu. Voting against it were Sajith and SJB's Kabir Hashim, who joined in via Zoom from overseas. Dinesha Samararatne and Pratap Ramanujan abstained. Speaker Abeyewardena decisively cast his vote in support. Civil society has been up in arms against Deshabandu after the Supreme Court found him guilty in a fundamental rights petition over an incident of torture. As such, the president is facing strong opposition from Liberals. Taking a jibe, Chinthana Dharmadasa in a Facebook post said he believes it to be a climax of democracy. Even if guilty by courts, one can even become the IGP, and even someone in prison need not give up hope. Irrespective of your position, your determination takes you to the top without any discrimination, said Dharmadasa. Sunanda Deshapriya, in his Sri Lanka Brief website, has made a revelation about Dr. Anula Wijasundara, who voted in support of Deshabandu's appointment. According to that, Wijasundara has extremist Sinhala Buddhist ideals. A member of the unofficial Sinhala Commission established many decades ago, she even issued statements against the 20th Amendment as a member of Govindu Kumaratunga's Youthukama. According to Deshapriya, it is a mockery of local politics that a person who demanded the abolition of the 13th Amendment comes to be a member of the Constitutional Council. The so-called human rights activists, who claimed Ranil to be a Liberal Democrat and went behind him, are today unable to digest their ideals. But some say Ranil scored valuable points by appointing Deshabandu. Public Security Minister Tiran's insistence that he badly needed Deshabandu to eradicate the underworld, and drugs could even have prompted it. Rather than the person in the IGP's seat, priority should go to ensuring law and order and public security. Here's the day Basil comes back. Prasanna's decision. According to Namal, only a minority in the SLPP who have received government positions wants Ranil to be the candidate, and that it is not the party's stand. Speaking to the media at the International Buddhist Centre at Nelligala in Kandy, he said the next president should come from an extensive alliance led by his party. Namal is nowadays going around the country with his Deshabala Sena and was in Bayagama just recently. Local government members of that electorate met Minister Prasanna a few days later to discuss politics. Among them was ex-PS chairman Ananda Ganapola, who organised the Deshabala Sena event in Bayagama. He asked directly as to how they could trust Ranil. Why not? Our party elected him president. So we have no ethical right to oppose Ranil, said Prasanna. When another pointed out differences in their policies, the minister said they should strengthen the party before everything else to face problems. Ganapola again asked why the party does not announce it officially. The party means members. It should listen to members. If not, the party is in ruin. That is what happened to the SLFP in 2015. Now, grassroots members want Ranil. Members need to be protected if the party is to be protected. Tell me if there is any candidate other than President Ranil, he replied. There was no answer to that one. State Minister Prasanna Ranawira, who kept silent until then, opened his mouth. I haven't spoken about this before. What Minister Ranatunga says is correct. 99% in the government want Ranil to be back. I agree with that. The meeting ended with agreement that a decision would be taken once Basil is back. According to SLPP headquarters sources, he is arriving from the US on 5 March. Ravi K's straight talk. What Sagala did on birthday. Ranil is yet to make a public announcement, but Lanza, Prasanna, Amarawera and the like want him back for 5 more years. But the UNP seems unprepared even for a cooperative election. Self-survival seems to be the motto of its members. Now, Ruwan, Wajira, Akila, Ravi K, Sagala, Hareen, Ronald and Range Bandara seem to get into election mode. Wajira is busy at Ranil's campaign office, while Range Bandara and Ronald are hard at work at Sirikota. Ruwan is involved with a social media drive and coordinates the entire campaign given to a foreign advertising company. Akila is organising a public rally in Kurunegala. After keeping his silence for some time, Ravi K is now raising media awareness on Ranil's economic programme. He told journalists that a presidential election will happen and Ranil will be a non-party candidate. Busiest among them all is Sagala, as Ranil's Chief of Staff and National Security Advisor. He had his birthday on the 27th. Even on that day, he put some intriguing posts on social media to promote Ranil. There was a time we all know only too well when the country came to a grinding halt, a time when daily life hit rock bottom. It was like a nightmare, but it became our reality. For a moment in time, the country was lost in hopelessness. No one wanted to take on the responsibility. Maybe it was courage they lacked. 583 days ago we came forward, despite the dark clouds looming in the horizon. Yes, there was no hope in sight, but we were guided by the one with the right vision and strength of resolve. We sat down and assessed the situation. We came up with formidable solutions. We were bold enough to put them into action. We worked day and night. The queues shortened and the tears dried up. One step at a time, the country got back on its feet again. To a great extent, life has gotten back to normal again. Yet there is a long way to go. Now, when I look back, I believe there is nothing we cannot achieve. On a day like today, on my birthday, I look back at the very challenging past we've overcome, and I feel a humbling sense of happiness. May the longing in your hearts and the hopes of our nation light up the path ahead. All these show that the UNP big shots are now hard at work. It seems the debate on Ranil's candidacy and which election comes first are all part of his campaign. Ranil is someone who is not heavily interested in media, but he is skilled at manipulating it. How effective will those old-time skills be this time? That is a question not just for him, but also for all the others in contention. That's it for today.